Hey, pro athletes! Ready to dominate your finances and secure your future? Choose Oakbridge Wealth Management, led by wealth manager Chris Anicetti, your ultimate financial planning partner. We tackle your unique financial challenges with a tailored, comprehensive approach. Join top NFL players and experience the Oakbridge difference. Just ask the Miami Dolphins' Alec Ingold. He says the systems and personal service my family received have been outstanding. Ready to take the next step? Connect with Chris on Instagram at OakbridgeWM_Anicetti. That's OakbridgeWM_ANICETE. And become the champion of your financial destiny. Welcome back to the Believe in Badgers podcast on the Believe Podcast Network, presented by betonline.ag. Once again, I'm Matt Perkins, joined, as always, by Badger legend, the Hebrew Hammer himself, Matt Bernstein. Bernie, how are we doing today?
Man, it's great. It's always nice to see how the young guys react to the nickname from 2004, 2005. Guys, thanks for having us, man. This is a real pleasure. It was so nice to talk to Noe and Melvin about what you guys are doing. So we're just thrilled to have you guys talk about your experience with Wisconsin and with the Vibez Golf Club. Sorry.
Appreciate you. Is Hebrew Hammer, is that a Matt LePay thing, or who came up with that one?
You know, that's a great question. I'm not 100% sure. What I think happened was I used to go to Wando's a lot. Everyone knew I was Jewish. So at the bar, just, I played fullback and you just hammering dudes all day. And then people are like, oh, the Hebrew Hammer. There's a stupid movie a long time ago called The Hebrew Hammer. Okay. So there was some of that. And there's a lot going on. That could be a whole podcast, really. Dari, thank you for that question.
Well, we got to actually introduce these guys. So today we have Dari Ogunbowale, Hugs Etienne, two names that all Badger fans are familiar with. We are super pumped to have you guys here just to talk about Vibez. This is part 2 of our 4-part series with the guys, just, talking all about Vibez, why it's so important, what they're doing, and obviously talking Badger football here at the same time. Before we get into anything, I want to remind you guys that we are presented by betonline.ag, where they remain your number one source for all of your online sports wagering needs. You name it, they've got it over there at BetOnline. NBA playoffs in full swing, as are the NHL playoffs. Always some good UFC, boxing, baseball. Casino games, card games, it's all over there at betonline.ag. So head on over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit with our promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV, BetOnline, where the game starts. So like I said, we were fortunate enough to sort of get to know Noe and have Melvin on last time. And I'm going to start, Hugs, I'm going to start with you. So how did you actually what was your first interaction with the game of golf? Like, how old were you? Like, when did that take place in your life?
I was probably like 22 years old. And one of my buddies invited me to come out and golf. And mind you, I've never golfed before. So I'm like, let's do it. Like, I wanted to try it out because I've never done it before. So I came out there. And it was just weird. It was just hard to hit, hard to get a good hit, and just hard to get a hang of the game. So literally 22 years old, tried it out. I did not like it at all. I hated it. And I literally probably didn't golf for another 5 or 6 years.
Oh, dang. What about you, Dari?
Mine was probably junior year of college. We had one of the rookies or freshmen on the team. He would always golf over the summer. And then, so he took me out there with him, let me use his clubs. And it was kind of the same thing as Hugs. Like, it was a big struggle. Ball wasn't going straight, couldn't make contact. And then after that, it would just always be top golf or something like that, but not actual golf, that's probably the first time I swung a club on a golf course was with my buddy Troy back in college.
Troy Fumagalli? That Troy?
Yeah, was that?
No, Troy
that Foom?
Laufenberg. Troy Laufenberg, not Foo.
Okay.
Yeah, not Foom. Fumagalli, he's a good golfer though. Troy's a golfer though. He knows how to swing it for sure.
I'm sure. It's funny. My first experience was when I was 19, which is crazy. Because I came from an area that played a lot of golf, and I was a football dude, and that was it. So it's interesting. I don't think anyone's good right off the bat.
Right.
So guys, tell us, like, first off, everyone sucks right off the bat. I went out there only because they allowed you to drive a golf cart and drink beer at the same time. Literally, that was my only reason to go golfing. What, like, bit you? Like, when did it come back around and you're like, let me give this another shot. Let me see what's up. And then when did you start enjoying the game?
For me, it was more kind of same type of situation as far as Troy being out there golfing with me. As I got older, I would go golfing with buddies more, and I would just see the competitiveness with it. Obviously, the gambling that goes with it. Obviously, the fun, but it was more so just the competitive. And like you said, nobody's good at golf, so I'm over here trying to figure it out myself. I'm over here just competing with myself, trying to figure out if I can do these 5 things to make this ball go straight this one time. So that's really how I got into it. And it was just kind of more of the challenge for me. And then, like I said, and then VGC kind of grew, or it was born, and kind of caused us to get out there a little bit more. And you kind of just started to like it a little bit more. Now, I mean, I will consider myself a big fan of the game of golf just because, like I said, how it started off. I just wanted to get better at it.
I would say for me, it's very similar. So a couple of times I just went back out there, and I just hate being the worst one out there. Like you out there, I just hate having to go find my ball every time. And it's like, dang. So eventually it was like, I want to get better at this. And then when I started golfing with people that was similar to myself, who was like actually trying to get better, and then getting with my brothers here and golfing, like it became like real fun. Like, just making contact, something simple as just making contact. Like, that makes me feel so good. Like, I just scored a touchdown. I made contact with the ball. You know what I mean? So it was that, and seeing how, like, I was just learning so many new things just like about golf and how patient you have to be. And that really changed my whole perspective. And now I love golf.
Have any one of you ever played a round where you didn't lose a ball?
Oh, no. I haven't. No. Actually, no, I take that back. We played in Sand Valley, up in Wisconsin. We played at Sand Valley, and there was this tiny, what was it, like a 9-hole. Everything was a par 3. Like, if you lost, you literally had to pick up the ball and throw it 50 yards to the left on purpose to lose a ball. But besides that, I've lost a couple balls every round.
Listen, Dari, that counts, man. That counts as one. I'm telling you, the best golf game I've ever done is like you just don't lose a ball.
Exactly.
And it's not a lot, let me tell you. You think like you get to like 16, 17, you're like, man, I'm good. There's no way to lose a ball. There's no water. There's nothing. And then all of a sudden you hit it and it's gone.
It's gone, bro.
You're like, man,
just
come on.
Driving around in the cart looking for it's crazy. And you just pick someone else's up and hope they don't notice.
Exactly.
Oh, man. You know what? This is what golf does. It makes people laugh and have a good time.
No, yeah. It's
Matt Perkins, you had a question.
Well, yeah, I did have a question, Bern. Thanks. So what I want to know from you guys, I guess, Dare, I'll go with you first. Vibez obviously has, I think the story of the way that Vibez has come together is really fascinating. Obviously, that's kind of one of the big things we're trying to do with this podcast, the upcoming documentary, is really tell the story of Vibez. So, Dara, I'll start with you. Like, how did you first get involved with Vibez, and sort of what drew you to working with Melvin and Noe and everyone else on this project?
Well,
wait, Dara, before you start, I have one question. You guys met Noe in college?
Yep. So yeah, all 10 of us. All 10 of us were students at Wisconsin. And 9 of us played football, as you know. But then Noe, he was kind of already friends because I'm a year younger than Noe and Melvin. And Noe, he was kind of already friends with that group. Actually, no, I think I'm 2 years younger than Noe. But Noe was kind of already friends with that group before I even got to school. And so we would always like see him in passing. He was, like I said, he was always around. He was good friends with a bunch of the guys, and then I got close with him. But obviously, we didn't expect to be business partners years later. But no, he was just always a cool dude. He was always around us, and we were always around him.
Hug, same experience.
Yeah, very similar experience. And so I remember when Noe first hit me up about this. So I shoot videos and photos. So, and I've been doing a lot of stuff, just capturing a lot of content. And when Noe contacted me, he's like, "Bro, you're a huge piece to this. Like, we need you to really like showcase what we're trying to do." And once he explained everything, I'm like, "This sounds dope." Like, and at the time, like I said, like golf wasn't like that for me. Like, you know, so it's like we about to do golf, man. Like golf, like, you know. And then, but once he explained it some more, I'm like, "Oh, this is dope. Like, let's get it. Like, let's do it. Let's make it happen."
Yeah, guys, share what when they called you or they Zoomed or you guys got together, whatever that it was. Tell us, like, how did they roll that out for you? And then, you know, because Melvin said, he's like, I don't know, I thought it was cool and it was my friend, so I said yes. Like, is that what it was, or was it like, man, this is really could be something special?
So initially, in Noah, he tells the story the same way. I was at Topgolf and I posted a video of me swinging and hit it pretty good. So I put it on my IG story, and then Noah responded like cracking a joke about how ugly my swing was. And then he asked how often I've been golfing and stuff. And I told him I've been golfing a bunch, and I told him I was actually trying to get more into it. Just to see like the way, like just exploring the world of golf. Cause at that time, they were doing the match a lot on ESP, or I think it was on TNT or whatever, with Brady and Rogers and stuff like that. So I was watching that with Charles Barkley. I'm cracking up. So I'm like, let me try to get more into this golf. And so the Noe responded to that, and then I told him that I was trying to get more into it. He was like, well, look, bro, I have this idea. I've been thinking about it for a while, and this is probably as good a time as any to try to do it. And he was like, let's get on the call. And so then me and him talked about it. And then he was asking if a bunch of other guys would be down for it. And he just, because we have a unique friend group, man. Like you not very often you get a group of friends, 10 guys that went to school together that are still this close outside of it. And obviously a lot of people have different talents. I mean, Hugs is being modest, but Hugs, he has a couple different companies, a couple different channels, and with the whole marketing, digital media, social media, all that stuff. And so just having guys like that, Noe with the business background, Hugs with the production background. We just had a bunch of different guys. So it was kind of, the group kind of started itself. But then fast forward a couple months, we all went down to Fort Lauderdale, and we had the meeting. We were all sitting in a hotel room, or a hotel, what was like a ballroom type of thing. And Noe just presents it to us. He presents the whole thing, top to bottom, each phase, lays it out. And we kind of just started looking around like this makes a lot of sense. Like we could really do something and change the game of golf, just us 10 guys. And ever since then, I mean, we've been tapped in, and it's been a good ride so far.
And Hug's the same when you were sitting in there, you're like, man, this is great. I want to be part of this.
For sure. And just seeing everybody that was in the room, it was more so like we spent a lot of time together. So a lot of stuff we're doing now, we were already doing it before, except for there was no golfing. We were already spending a lot of time together, taking a lot of trips together, and we have a really good chemistry. We all have really good chemistry all together. So when Noel brought everything to our attention, like I'm like, yo, this is dope. Like we can do this, and you know, we're teammates. We've been at war together. You know what I mean? So it wasn't hard to think about like how we can actually execute this and make it work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. And hold each other accountable, which is like the biggest thing about football.
Exactly. Facts.
So one of the things that Melvin talked about is how each individual person sort of has their own vibe, has their own style. Hugs, what is your vibe? And then I want Dara to answer the same question. How would you describe your vibe on the golf course?
For me, I'm gonna talk my trash. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna talk my trash like all day, every day. And I like the clown guys. You know what I mean? I'm gonna talk trash all day, every day. It could be something like, it could be something as simple as just like, you know, if I get a nice putt, like I'm gonna go crazy. You know what I mean? It's simple, but you know, I'm gonna go crazy. And other than that, like for the most part, when I'm the one capturing the vibes, I'm still talking my trash. You know, when I'm filming the vibes, I'm gonna talk trash regardless. No matter what I'm doing on the course, I'm around my brothers. I'm gonna talk my trash regardless, one way or another.
Hugs, I don't know if I want to play with you, man. You scare me. You're going to get in my head. I'll lose some balls with you.
Oh, listen, man, I'm a former DB, man. You got to talk trash, man, regardless.
It's your long lineage of DBs talking a lot of smack at Wisconsin. Believe me, I know. Exactly. Sorry, Dari. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. No, and it's not even fair because Hugs is the one with the camera, too. So when you got the cameraman talking trash, there's no chance you're about to hit a good ball. But for me, my swag is really my vibe on the course. You know, I like to look good. You know, I got the nice shoes out there. I got a nice fit. You know what I'm saying? I got a nice golf fit. I heckle a bit, but I try to really tap in and make sure my game is right. And when it comes to football, I like to talk a lot, but golf, I got to kind of be a little bit more quiet, a little bit more reserved while I'm playing. Otherwise, it's gonna be a bad round for me. Besides that, I'm having fun on the course. You know, I'm not one to be uptight or nothing like that. We all, like our friend group, like I said, or like Hug said, we just got great chemistry. So we always having a good time on the course. But yeah, I'm the guy with the swag out there. I'll say that.
All right, Hug. So you're the best trash talker. Who is close to you in the trash talking realm?
I mean, hey, Mel gonna talk trash all day, every day. Like, I say he definitely got that for sure.
So what's what's your best thing when you get into, I don't know, you're up to drive, or you're up to putt, or you're up to chip. Like, what are you the most confident on the course? So give me most confident and give me like least confident.
I would probably say my most confident is probably like my approach shots. I'm real good with my wedges. Least confident is my driver, bro. I mean, it's a crapshoot what's about to happen when I swing that mug, bro. I don't know. Like, I really can't figure it out, to be honest. Like, I feel like I swing it. My swing is the same. I mean, you know how they say you swing different clubs the same or different clubs differently. Like, my swing is the same, bro. But for some reason, when I pull that driver out, bad things happen, bro. So yeah, I'm working on it.
Gotta let the big dog eat, though.
It's getting pulled out though. I'm swinging that driver.
Yeah,
I'm not about to be afraid to use it. But like I said, the great things don't happen.
Hugs, what about you?
I say it's the same for me. Like, driving, it's just, I don't know. Like, no matter how much work you put in, how much you try, it just seems like when you getting ready to drive, I don't know. There's a disconnect. I don't know. There's and it just never really hit how you wanted to hit. You know what I mean?
Well, so I'm weird
too much,
because
I know.
For me, the only club I can hit consistently is my driver. I can't take out an iron to save my life. The only thing I hit well every time is my driver. It's the strangest thing. I can't explain it.
Good for you, bro. I'm jealous.
So we would be a solid, what do they call it? A solid
scramble.
like best
A solid
ball
scramble.
right here.
Facts. No,
Yeah,
for sure.
it'd be a good scramble.
Sure.
I don't know about you guys. I don't putt very well either. My biggest non-confident boost is the second there's water anywhere. I'm like, man, it could be 500 yards and I'll hit the driver 500 yards and it goes in the water. Like, there's just no. Every time it'll bounce off a tree, hit a rock, and bounce into the water. It like really. It also makes me like love golf because it just is comical at that point.
I know, right? I know.
That's great.
So let's bring it back to Vibez. So you guys are in this meeting. You hear the mission. You guys are like, I'm in. What continues to make you excited about what you're trying to accomplish with Vibez?
I would say for me, it's just time and time again, right? When my friends or just people that see me post some of the Vibez stuff on social media, when I explain to them what we're doing and our mission, and they love the idea. So it's like confirmation that we're doing the right thing, we're heading in the right direction. So that just makes me want to think about different ideas and how we can really continue to further the vision.
For me,
Dari?
it's for me, it's just being in this golf world, man. And for example, I went down to the PGA show in Orlando, and just being there and just seeing how, I guess, how the same it all is. There's not any creativity, I feel, and I just feel like it's time for a change, and I feel like the game of golf is like we've said, we're over here laughing about the game of golf. It's an amazing game. It's super fun. But why is it that I didn't pick up a golf club until I was a junior in college? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is there just not different, there's not diversity in the game, or there's not, confidence for people to just want to pick up a golf club and get out there. So I feel like when I see stuff like that, and then I think about what we're doing, when I think about our mission, it just excites me, because it's like, we can really do this. We can really change the game. We can really inspire a whole different generation of people to, I guess, think outside of what in their head was their comfort zone. And so that's really what kind of keeps me going with it.
So, Dare, building off of that, what does Vibez Golf Club mean to you? If like you're wearing a Vibez hat, walking down the street, someone says, "Hey, what is Vibez Golf Club?" When someone asks, like, how do you answer that question? What does that mean to you?
So yeah, I love that question. I would say Vibes Golf Club is a club of guys that's trying to grow the game. Like, that's initially that's what I'll say. And if they ask how, I'll tell them kind of just my background. Like I said, I grew up playing a lot of different sports. You know what I'm saying? Like, my family's a big athletic family, and I played every sport growing up. And my dad made sure I played every sport growing up. Never touched the golf club, and it's always just like, why is that? Why is it that, I woke up every morning wanting to be an athlete, but golf just didn't seem like it was a possibility. It didn't seem like that was a reality for me. And obviously there's a lot of different reasons that go into that. Whether that's money, whether that's just access. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't an opportunity. It wasn't an option for me. And looking back at it now, or what we're trying to do now, is change that, make it way more accessible, make it way easier for people to get into the game of golf, for kids to get into the game of golf. That's really what it's about for me, is just the youth being able to get into the game of golf in the same way they get into every other sport, and like I said, the accessibility part is the biggest thing for me. And I just bought my first pair of clubs, or my first set of clubs. I've been using my buddy's clubs for the past couple of years. I bought my first set of clubs. If I would have asked my mom to buy me a pair of, or a set of Callaway irons when I was little, she would have laughed at me, because they're so expensive, But every kid knows how to skate, but you can easily buy skates. It's hard to get access to golf clubs, and so stuff like that is why that's what I would say. I would just say that we're trying to grow the game, we're trying to make golf more accessible, and at the end of the day, the way that we're doing that is driving demand to the game of golf, and that's, like, we got Hugs right here. That's through our production, through our content, obviously through our merch, and through our tournaments. Allowing people to just get out there and have a good time, and people being able to see the fun we're having on the course. That's just going to help grow the demand, or draw the demand, and eventually grow the game.
No, I would say for me, vibes, it just means just be yourself, ride your wave and catch your vibe, and just have fun. Like, no matter who you are, like, let's say you're on a course, like, and whatever turns you up, like, just don't feel free to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I remember when I first went out on the course, like, I felt like I had to be like everybody else. Come out there, collar shirt, shirt tucked in, and to be all firm and try to be all professional. Like, and I think that's what drew me away from the game. Like, why can't I just, catch my vibe, do it how I want to do it. You know what I mean? So as I, go out there more and more, and like golfing with my brothers and seeing that, oh, we can be out here, be ourselves and have fun. Like, it literally felt like a whole different game. So that's really how, like, that's what I would say. Like, really just have your fun, catch a wave and do you.
I like that you say, like, golfing with your boys is like a completely different game than, like, when you're khakis, golf shoes, the whole nine. Dari, I actually, as a 40-year-old man, just got golf shoes for the first time. So like, I feel like no matter who you are, you're all in the same boat. It's this, it's like, that's what golf is. Like, yeah, I just like wearing my regular sneakers because it's my comfort level. But Dar, you touched on it a little bit, and we'll start with you. What's like the biggest obstacle, do you think, for Vibez?
I mean, I guess the biggest obstacle I'd say is probably time. We've kind of run into, I mean, we as far as all of our schedules, and it's tough. You start a business with 10 guys, and obviously our schedules are just all over the place. And we have these great ideas. We got these talented people. It's just sometimes finding the time for stuff. And right now we're starting to manage that a lot better. And obviously when me and Melvin are in the off season, we just try to just stick as many things in as possible. But that's the thing that I've noticed has been the struggle. It's just us being able to kind of all get together, all find time to get together, and not only for the content side of things, but just to kind of host our events, host our things that we want to do. But besides that, I mean, I feel like there's not really, I wouldn't say there's not any obstacles, but it's been a smooth process, man. Things have gone way faster than we expected. The speed that the PGA kind of got on our coattails was great. You know, they love what we're doing. They love our mission, and they kind of help a lot of things. You know, they've helped us out a lot. So and so when you got the PGA on your side, when you're a golf company, that's huge. And so that, I would say the biggest obstacle I would probably say is just us all finding time to get together. But besides that, we've been in a good spot.
Hug's biggest obstacle for you?
I would say Daria hit on the head. It's time, and obviously we're all in different locations. So trying to find make it work for everybody to where we can all always get together, it's not always possible. So I think Daria hit on the head. Time is definitely the big one.
Well, makes a lot of sense since it's almost 9:30 here. Yeah, Hugs, you're in Atlanta. Daria, you're in Dallas. Perko's in Nashville. We do this all the time. It is bananas trying to schedule people, and literally have a 9 to 5. So you guys have something completely different. Hugs, I want to jump in a little bit on what you're doing, the content. To me, that is so important nowadays to get your brand, your name, everything out there. How exciting is that? Like, it's that you're taking, like, that's your area, and what is so important, and what do you try to accomplish with the social media and all the content?
I love it. So capturing content is key. I mean, so we do a lot of different things at Vibez, right? And without the content, people won't really get to see what exactly we're doing. So being able to efficiently capture that content and then put it out the right way, like it's major. And day in, day out, I'm just always coming up with different ideas and how we can really continue to push that vision, push the mission forward. So it's pretty dope. Like literally, like when I'm out there on the course, not only, you know, I'm with my brothers, you know, we're capturing content, and then here and there, you know, I'm not only capturing content, you know, I'll hit a couple balls too. And it's a vibe. Like, content is what I do. Like I've literally been doing this for many years. So being able to do it, you know, with my brothers and just capturing the vibes, and it's amazing.
Wait, Hugs, what's your favorite thing you've put out?
My favorite thing I've put out, I would have to say, it was a shot of was it Tanner? I think it was Tanner that hit a putt. And we actually, so that video made the PGA commercial. Yeah, it made a PGA commercial, and it was just Tanner, he hit a putt, and we all just went crazy. Like, you had Rob threw up the golf clubs and just going crazy, like, and it was just like, whoa. Like, when I captured it, I wasn't thinking about all that, but it's just amazing, like, you know, just seeing like how we doing it, like just having fun, and like I said, riding our wave and just being us, and that got us in the PGA commercial. So all of that is confirmation that we're doing the right things and let's just keep doing what we're doing.
I love it. I think it's so cool. Good. I know we're going to transition a little to football because we have two amazing stories we want to get to, but really what you guys are trying to accomplish to get golf to the masses is special. Like, it really is. Never in my entire life did I think that this is something that needed to happen. So even being a part of these conversations and hearing it and looking at your website, looking at the social media, I'm like, how could I not, like, how did I think of this? But I appreciate it because I think that's what golf is missing, is just going out there and enjoying who you are and enjoying the guys you're playing with. And I think Noe touched it. Like, when you go to a golf course by yourself, it's a weird place to go by yourself. Like, it's just, like, it's hard to catch your vibe there no matter who you are or what you are. So I really appreciate and really hope that you guys are super successful, like ginormously successful, because there's a lot of people who are not playing golf who sadly would probably love it, even if they're not good at it like me.
Agreed. And like Hug said, I mean, the point of what we're doing is great. Everything that we're doing is great, and we were always so excited about it. But at the end of the day, people have to see it, and we're us being able to kind of get that demand out there for people just to be able to see the game, see what it's like to play around of golf. Because I had no idea. All I knew about golf was something that my dad put on Sundays when he was trying to take a nap. You know what I'm saying? But it's a good time out there. You feel me? Like, and that's something that we always and I had no idea you could have that much fun on a golf course. You know what I'm saying? And just being able to get that out there for people to see. And obviously we're not a content company. But at the end of the day, we got a great group of dudes with great vibes. And I like to gas Hugs up because every time I post something, someone's always like, wow, who'd you outsource to for your marketing? I'm like, Hugs is one of the co-founders. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to outsource for that. And that's kind of why I just feel like Vibes, we can't lose. You know what I'm saying? We got the group of guys. We got all the resources in-house. So it's just, we just got to keep executing. So we appreciate that, man.
Well, one of the things that you guys can absolutely see on all of your social media, like you said, is that vibe and that positivity, and sort of like the clear brotherhood that you guys share. And I have to kind of assume that goes back to your days in the locker room together. But what's really interesting is that you guys came in together, right? You guys were freshmen together. You two specifically came in together in 2012. So what is it like to have sort of, as we transition this conversation into football, what's it like to have been on this journey together for 11 years? And I guess I'll ask that to Dare first. Like, what's it been like to sort of grow up from being 17, 18-year-old freshman coming into Wisconsin to now, having these amazing, both of you, professional careers and Vibes in common still?
You saying 11 years is crazy, Hugs. Ain't it crazy? 11 years ago. But no, man, it's a blessing, bro. And I thank God, you know what I'm saying? I thank God all the time that I chose to walk on at Wisconsin just because these guys, man. And Hugs, like you said, me and Hugs, Hugs is probably one of the first guys in the group that I was close with just because we were in the same room. You know what I'm saying? We're sitting in that same position room. It was me, Hugs, and Reggie Mitchell were the three three freshman corners, and we just clicked. We just clicked. Obviously, after summer in the region, just being able to just bond. You know what I'm saying? And fast forward now, like you said, 11 years and brothers. You know what I'm saying? Brothers, and just being able to share these visions together and like I said, go out and execute. It's special, man. And like Hug said, even before Vibes started, we were always together. You know what I'm saying? And finding time for us to still take trips. I mean, when we were younger, those trips would look more like Vegas. But now we're business trips, you know what I'm saying? Now we keep it professional. But no, just being able to share these memories with each other and now building something together like this is really special, man. And that kind of what makes all of this even better. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to have business partners, have visions and things like that. But to be able to do it with people that you, like Hug said, people that you grind with, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Burn, you know how it was, bro. Those camps, people that you grind with, those summer conditioning days, winter conditioning days. Not a lot of people understand what we were going through. And to be able to share these experiences with guys that we talk to every day like this is special.
Hugs, what about for you?
I say for me, man, I still remember, man, freshman year, me and Dare, man, just hitting the little house parties, man, as freshmen, and hey, Madison is it's a crazy place, man. It's a crazy place, being on campus and just having fun, man, and just fast forward, it seemed like, man, we still cool, man. Like Dare said, man, we just always, even before this, like just always, traveling and the guys just having fun. So to see that we are still rocking. Everything's still solid. Now we're doing business together. Like, that's major. And it makes it very easy to do business together and, hold each other accountable. The fact that just the history we all have together. So it's been an amazing ride. And I'm excited to see the future and how everything just keep rolling.
Attention athletes. Are you ready to take control of your financial future and score big off the field? Oakbridge Wealth Management, led by wealth manager Chris Anicetti, is your all-star team of financial experts, specifically catering to professional athletes like you. We tackle your unique financial challenges head-on, so you can focus on what you do best. Our comprehensive and adaptive approach sets us apart. Starting with our strategic partners, we create a seamless, frictionless experience tailored to your financial journey. Our services evolve alongside your career, from cash flow management and major purchases to estate planning and long-term investments. Don't wait until the fourth quarter. Secure your financial legacy now and reap the benefits of our expertise through your career and beyond. With Oakbridge, you'll gain peace of mind, financial freedom, and a solid game plan for the future. Top NFL players like Chase Roulier, Alec Ingold, Tyler Biadasz, and more have already joined our winning team, and now it's your turn. Here's what former Badgers All-American and Dallas Cowboys center Tyler Biadasz has to say. From the beginning, Chris guided me in setting financial goals and provided me with the necessary tools. He's been a constant support, like a brother, throughout my life. His guidance played a crucial role in my NFL journey. It's time to elevate your financial game plan. Connect with Chris on Instagram at OakbridgeWM_Anicetti. That's OakbridgeWM_ANICETE, and join the winning team.
Wait, so I gotta ask. The Regent, even starting football, is an interesting place to be when all the dudes from the class come together. And you really don't know. It's like a stew of just a lot of weird and a lot of egos and a lot of just every word you could, a lot of all that. I can remember a lot of funny things happening in the Regent. All of them, my mom would definitely, my mother-in-law listens to these, she would definitely not like. There was one I could share with you guys, and I think remember Owen Daniels? Was a quarterback, came in as a quarterback and played tight end. Dude, we went out one night. Like on the weekends, you had nothing to do. We went out. This dude, I walk into his room. It's got to be like 11:30 at night. He's just sitting in one of those terribly awkward chairs, blasting like the 504 boys. I just screaming the lyrics. I'm like, what the? And then I'm like, man, this is the best song I've ever heard, and I've never heard this song. And you're like, just weird things that you got dudes you don't really know that well. Any funny Regent stories, and you can share or don't share, please.
Hey, I would say one that I remember.
Go ahead, yeah.
One that I remember. So, me being from Florida, I remember when I moved into the region, it was January because I was a December grad. So it's January, it's extremely cold. And I remember, so to leaving from the Reeds, there was like a little, I don't know how to explain it. It was like, I used to always take the shortcut where you hop over the little fence, there's a little area. But it was, cold, like extremely cold, and it was like snow on the ground. And I'm trying to get through and be smooth. Next thing you know, I just slipped, man, and legs in the air. I literally fell for the first time. Like, they tell me about snow, they warn me, but I'm a Florida guy. We don't have to deal with snow. And I'm sitting there just holding my back, going to workouts. Like, hey, I can't believe this just happened. Like, it was insane. It was a lot of stuff like that. Another thing that happened. I remember, it's so cold, so everybody, they got the mask on. We used to ride the moped, so people got their helmets on. I remember Vontae. So Vontae, he came into my room, so literally had his mask on, helmet on, and everything. And I'm from Florida, so we're not, unless you're going to do some illegal activities, you're not putting on a mask and and the helmet and all of that. So I'm sitting here in the living room just chilling, and I see a guy just walk in, ski mask, helmet on. So I'm up, like, I'm getting defensive, like, yo, what's going on? I'm getting robbed. I'm getting robbed up in here. What's going on? And it was just like, yo, he just took it off like, bro, it's Vontae. I'm like, oh, what? I literally thought I was getting robbed. So it was just a whole lot of crazy winter stuff that I just wasn't used to that was going on. And I'm just like, yo, I'm a Florida guy. I ain't used to this.
Dari, for you?
That's crazy because Vontae was my story too, bro. So the Reeds, man, Vontae Jackson, my dog. This man had a pet snake in the Reeds. Oh. And one day, he goes back to a snake, and the tank was empty. The boy lost the snake. He lost the snake in the Reeds. And so we never found it. So for the next how many weeks, you just like, I'm probably about to see this snake in my bathroom at some point, or I'm probably about to go to bed and the snake gonna be under my pillow. Like, we had no idea where the snake was about to end up, bro. And it was just like, and Grant, I mean, there's no way those guys stay at the region anymore. I mean, the way this transfer portal thing works, one night in the region, I'm in the portal. But it was a rite of passage, bro. It's a rite of passage for sure, man.
Dude, that's the best thing I've heard. It's a dump also.
It's just a dump. And no disrespect to the region. I mean, I would call it a historical landmark of Madison, Wisconsin, but I'll be very happy if I don't have to step foot back in the region.
Oh my God, I'm crying. First off, you guys never found the snake? It's just in the region somewhere?
Never found a snake. It could still be in the ducks of the region right now. Who knows?
It's definitely in the region.
That snake was never found. That snake was never found.
Oh,
bro.
My God. I mean, you even go back now, and the region's pretty much the only thing that hasn't been changed. I mean, at Madison, it's crazy how much is going on, but it just continues to press on. And Hugs, I remember, it was that little wall you had to just jump on top of to get over.
Yes, that was it right there. I thought, it's a little shortcut. Every day, I'm like, I'm not walking around, I'm taking my shortcut. But that day, that wasn't it for me.
I walk by that place and I look at it and I'm like, man, I'm so happy I don't have to jump over that thing anymore to go work out. Sorry, Dara, you still do, but I don't have to go do that stuff anymore. So wait, let's go back because I love the region. I could spend all day here. Let's go back. How did you guys get into football, and then how did you get to Wisconsin?
I'll go first because Hugs, he was high recruit, so his story's probably going to be quick. But for me, I grew up a soccer player. I grew up playing soccer and played soccer not all through high school, up until my sophomore year of high school. I played freshman and sophomore year, and then just wanted to switch. I don't know. It still blows my mind that I kind of played soccer my whole life, and then once I was 16, I was like, okay, I want to stop. And so I stopped, and I started playing football, and did well. I wasn't the greatest high school football player. Did well, but was able to walk on at Wisconsin. And so that's how I got to Wisconsin. I didn't have any offers, didn't have any interest, outside of D2 schools. And I always wanted to go to Wisconsin. I grew up a Wisconsin fan, listening to the games on the radio. So I always grew up a Wisconsin fan. So I knew I was going to go there. Just getting the opportunity to walk on was dope. But so that's how I got there.
So for me, I was actually born in Haiti. I came to the U.S. when I was 6 years old, and I grew up a soccer player myself. Soccer was it for me. My pops played soccer, and they kind of passed it down. Soccer, I enjoyed playing soccer, and literally when I came to the U.S., I realized people not really playing soccer like that in the U.S. It's all about football. So I started playing Little League football maybe when I was like 10 years old, I believe. I was about 10 years old, started playing Little League football, and I hated it, like literally. I was like, nah, this ain't it. Like you're not about to be trying to kill me on that field. Like, I'm done. So 10 years old, I played one season, and I just like, yeah, this ain't for me. And then at 14, I got back into the game at 14 years old. And I'm like, yo, this is pretty cool. And, I always had quick feet. So started playing again at 14 and then got into high school. Was very undersized as a 14-year-old, very undersized. So then maybe my sophomore year, I had a crazy sophomore season. Like I went crazy, and I received my first offer from Bowling Green. It was Bowling Green University. Yep, received my first offer, and I'm like, yo, this is pretty dope. Like I can actually I can do this. I can go crazy. So after that, got ready for my junior season, and I just had a crazy junior season, and a bunch of offers that started coming in, like literally, like Wake Forest, and then I remember going to Miami camp. Miami dropped the offer. Then when Wisconsin came in the game, it was like, oh wow, like it's like Wisconsin. At the time, I'll be honest, like I don't think I ever heard much about Wisconsin. Like the state Wisconsin, like I don't even remember hearing about like Wisconsin being a state, anything. Like I'm from Florida, where everything is down south, like. And I'm like, oh, Wisconsin. So I started looking it up. I'm like, okay, dope. Like, and at the time, Wisconsin was ranked in the top 10, I believe. Wisconsin was going crazy. So I'm like, okay, this is pretty solid. And then I took my visit up to Wisconsin. I'm like, yo, like this is a dope place. Aside from like them telling me that it snows here and it's gonna get pretty cold, I'm like, this is pretty cool. But I'm like, if I plan on playing the NFL anyways, like I'm gonna have to deal with that. So why not take the opportunity? And I get back at this point. I literally I had got another offer. Actually, Florida State hit me up like, "Yo, Wisconsin, why would you commit to Wisconsin?" And I'm like, I went on my visit. I enjoyed everything about it. And then and so I just took the opportunity. I came to Wisconsin. Probably one of the best decisions I ever made, just to be able to go out of my comfort zone. Like Florida, my dream school was UM. I really wanted to go to University of Miami, but at the time, Miami was not it at all. That's not where you wanted to be. You know what I mean? And I just wanted to get away from home and just experience something different. And so, yeah, that's literally how everything went from right there.
And Hugs, yeah, you also were kind of there at the peak of the Florida to Wisconsin pipeline. I mean, in 2012, if you look at that Badgers roster, there's like 15 guys from the state of Florida, almost all of them from South Florida, whether it's, you down in Plantation or West Palm or, what Reggie Love is from Boynton Beach, I think. Like, you got guys from all over the state of Florida. Did you specific Florida Badgers have like a specific type of camaraderie? Did you guys all know, a lot of you guys know each other before you came up? Did you guys have any sort of like special connection, anything like that?
I would say everything was tied to Coach Partridge. Like Coach P, man, like Coach P. So Coach P actually, he played Little League football at the same Little League football team I played for. And Coach P have a way, man. He's a Florida guy, and he has a way of talking to the Florida guys. And like, if you ask anybody that's from Florida at the time, they'll tell you like Coach P was definitely a big reason why a lot of us made that decision. And the fact that we were able to relate with each other and like the conversations was just like, yo, like he understands me, So I would say that was probably the big factor right there. And just, you being there, you're like, oh, like I didn't expect this many guys to be at Wisconsin from Florida. So, on my visit, I'm like, oh, you from Florida too? Oh, you from Florida? So I was like, yo, this is an easy decision. Like, let's make it happen.
I love that. We had a bunch of Florida dudes who I, absolutely. That's the cool thing about football is you literally have guys from everywhere, and it's a special. It like transcends anything to me. Sports do, which I think is special with Vibez. Not to just randomly tie it in, but literally sports transcend all the negativity in this world. When you're in a locker room with your dude, it doesn't matter what that guy looks like, where he's from. That's your dude. Like that's your guy. it doesn't hurt if you're from the same state. It kind of actually makes it better. Same area. Dar, you might know Anthony Davis was a Jersey guy. I was in New York. I'm like, we're the same,
sure.
man. We're the same. We're from the same. There are a lot of Wisconsin people in this locker room. But love my Wisconsin guys nonetheless. So Dar, you came in. Let me just tell you, you're one of my favorite running backs. Not because you're on the show, just because I just loved your game.
Appreciate that.
What's the transition like? Also, we met a bunch when I was living there in 2015 or 2016, and you were just super kind all the time. So I was like, man, this is like the epitome of like a Badger, right? I'm an old, washed up dude. But what's it like to switch positions and then to excel in a different spot?
Appreciate that, by the way. And I do remember meeting you. I mean, I always loved you. I'm pretty upset that today's the first day I learned your nickname was the Hebrew Hammer. I would have had a lot of fun with that 8 years ago.
Yeah, maybe too much fun.
Exactly. But man, no, it's crazy. It's crazy. I moved over to running back just kind of out of necessity. Guys were getting hurt during camp and heading out of camp into the season. And you just needed guys, and I was always, lower on the depth chart with the DBs. So when we would do drills, I would kind of go over and do look team and play offense. And we would do this one-on-one tackling drill, and I would always go on offense and just make the DBs miss. And so when we had guys going down in the running back room, we needed bodies over there, and they're like, well, Dari, he does a good job with the ball in his hands. Let's give him a look. And it's actually funny. Hugs said his first offer was from Bowling Green. My first game playing running back was against Bowling Green, and ended up having a really good game that day. And I remember Tanner McAvoy had 100 yards rushing. Melvin Gordon had 100 yards rushing. Corey Clement had 100 yards rushing. We could have had 400-yard rushers, but I had 94 yards. But ever since then, I was like, okay, I could really figure this running back thing out. And from that point on, it was just a lot of confidence. I just had to get more confidence having the ball in my hands versus obviously backpedaling, trying to intercept the ball, and then just gain weight. I mean, obviously that comes with being a college football player, but I was tiny, so that was probably the biggest obstacle of the transition was just putting on some weight so that I could kind of have longevity at the position. And then at the end of the season, honestly, I thought that I was going to move back to DB. But coach, he let me stay, he let me stay. And obviously the rest has been history. But I mean, it's crazy looking back on it just because I never would have thought that I'd be a running back at RBU, you know what I'm saying? But even fast forward from there, it's just been a wild ride, man, just being able to play this position for as long as I have.
Dude, it's great. It's really special, and I think it says a lot about you and the perseverance. I want to get into I know we're running out of time, so we're going to gloss over a few things, but what are your favorite memories, either locker room, what's your favorite game you've ever played in, favorite celebrations? Give me just a couple of your favorites around Madison. Hugs, I'll start with you.
I would say for me, one of my favorite moments, I remember this was literally like I said, I graduated early, so this was literally my first spring spring practice. Well, not the first spring practice, but it was around the first spring season. I was at Madison, and I went out there literally. I got some reps, man, and it was one-on-ones. I forgot what I was going up against, and I got a nice PBU. It was just that at the time it was yo, Hugs, you can do this. I'm supposed to be in high school right now. Here I am at Wisconsin, locking these guys up. And it was time and time again, just going crazy, catching picks and one-on-ones. And I remember that day, literally I went home and cried. It was yo, I'm at UW doing the damn thing. And it was just crazy. That I always think about that, just in general, I always think about that moment. And I would say that was one of the moments for me. And just being in the locker room with the guys, just messing around, it was just dope. When I think about football, people always ask, what do you miss the most? It's the moments in the locker room. the moments are crazy. Them, them early mornings when you get up together and it's like, yo, we about to crush these workouts and just messing around the locker room. Them the moments literally that like you miss the most for real. So yeah, that's it for me.
Dari?
Yeah, for me, being a Wisconsin guy, it'll be that first game, man. And I was a red shirt. You know what I'm saying? My first game we played Northern Iowa. I suit up obviously, but I know I'm not playing. I'm red shirt, and it's our first game. I'm running out the tunnel for the first time, man, and it lost my mind, man. I almost cried. Like it was just crazy. It was just something that I never imagined. Being able to run out of a tunnel in front of 80,000 people, you know what I'm saying? Bands playing, everybody's going crazy. You see red everywhere. It was special, man. So that was probably still, I mean, obviously I had a great career I'm very proud of, but that moment for me is definitely my favorite moment of being a Badger, just that first time running out the tunnel at Camp Randall. And besides that, my first touchdown, got to score my first touchdown at home against Nebraska in the snow. So that was dope. And then like Hug said, just the vibes being in the locker room, man. It's we would have a hard workout and sit in the locker room for 2 hours, you know what I'm saying? Just talking for no reason. I mean, no class. So we just, instead of going home, chilling, like why not? We just chill in the locker room for an extra 2 hours, not doing anything, just kicking it. I mean, those are the times that you remember the most, man. Just kicking with your teammates and shooting the shit, bro. Not doing anything, just vibing in the locker room, having a good time. So those are the, like Hug said, those are really the times that you remember. Those are the times you miss for sure.
So you mentioned that you redshirted, and I think a lot of the best stories that we get on the show are scout team memories. Like I think the best stories that we get are from scout teams. So Dare, what is your favorite like scout team memory? And then Hugs, I'm going to ask the exact same question.
Man, I don't know if I have a good scout team memory. I mean, well, I'll give you a wholesome. First, I'll start with the wholesome scout team memory. So, like I said, when I was a scout team, I was a DB, and obviously Jared Aberdare is one of the best receivers to ever come through Wisconsin. He showed me a lot of love being on scout team, man. He really, I learned a lot about the position of cornerback from him, and he would always take me to the side and kind of help me with my press technique and stuff like that. So I would say that's a great memory I have from scout team. Besides that, I don't have a good scout team memory, man. I remember Coach Hammock. He used to have me come over there and have the fullbacks just lead block on me over and over and over. I would be a little crash dummy. Or Coach Azani, receiving coach. They were running the screen, and they were running the screen, and the one of the receivers was supposed to come out and block me, but he like just put his hands on me. And that was that. Coach Azani cusses him out. You're supposed to cut him. You're supposed to cut him. And he's like, why would I cut him? He's my teammate. And he's like, he's on scout team. That's what he's there for. Next play, slice me. Yeah. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. This is crazy. So those scout team days, man, I don't miss them. I don't miss them, bro.
Hugs, please.
For me, I spent a lot of that time injured and trying to get back healthy. So, when I redshirted, I wasn't even able to be on a scout team. Just really trying to get healthy to get back on the field.
Dude, you missed nothing besides like utter fear of death and getting yelled at for just absolutely anything. Nothing, dude.
Anything.
If you read a card wrong, you were called a dummy for like an hour. And Hammock was there my last year, so I like her. He's an interesting guy. But the scout team, man, when you made a nice block on like a power, and they're like, you didn't do it right. Not to me, to the defense to take it on, run it again. But the outside linebacker's like, I'm going to blow you up. I know the play. I'm like, this is the stupidest thing. I'm like, come on, guys. Give me a break here. Oh, man, scout team. You're right, Daria. I don't really have much good things to say about that. Well, tell me, what was like some of your favorite stadiums to play in?
Yeah, I'll probably say I got to play at Ohio State at night. That was awesome. The band was crazy. That was a good time. They had a blackout game, I think, for the fans. Michigan, I scored at Michigan, so that's a dope experience. But it wasn't, I mean, it was huge, but it wasn't that loud to me. You know what I'm saying? Like you hear about the big house, yada, yada, yada. It wasn't that loud, so, but that was kind of a cool experience to play there. And then Lambeau, I'm tripping. Lambeau's number one for sure. Playing at Lambeau in college. I got to play in Lambeau in the NFL, but it was during the COVID year, so there were no fans. So my best Lambeau experience was in college, getting to beat LSU at Lambeau. So those would probably be the top three college experiences outside of Camp Randall, obviously, but those would probably be the best three stadiums I got to play in.
Hugs?
And I said once again, for me, like being hurt, I didn't get to experience much stadiums. But you can't beat the camp, man. It's just you can't beat coming out at Camp Randall, man. Like at the time, you like I'm home, man. Like you can't beat that. It's just like Daria was saying, man. I remember coming out for the first time, and I was hurt at the time. I wasn't fully suited, so I couldn't really enjoy the moment as I would have wanted to. But it was just crazy, like just to see, like, wow, these fans actually they support for real. Like, they're coming out. They're going to make noise. They're going to jump around. Like it was amazing.
So one of the things that has always stood out to me, Daria, about your game, and Bernie showed you a lot of love, and now I'm going to get to my turn to show you some love here on your game. You are, in my opinion, the single greatest passing running back, not fullback, Bernie. I'm not talking about fullbacks. I'm talking about halfbacks. You're the greatest pass blocking halfback I've ever seen in my entire life. Is that something you've dedicated yourself to? Obviously, it's crazy how effective you are doing that. Is that something you take pride in? Like, talk to me about that specific skill, because I know it's something that not a lot of backs enjoy doing, but it's something that you have to be able to do in order to stay on the field at both the college and pro level.
Appreciate you for real. That's a great compliment, because like you said, I pride myself on that for sure, man. It's just things like that. I mean, I think that's something that comes with being a Wisconsin player, Wisconsin running back, just being a guy that's dependable, And obviously, when you play at a school like Wisconsin, or you play running back at a school like Wisconsin, this is Badger podcast. I don't have to say anything. I mean, I had back-to-back Monty Ball, James White, Melvin Gordon, Corey Clement. I'm not getting 30 carries a game. I mean, come on, like those names, those are the guys that's about to get the carry. So I had to figure something out to get on the field. And earlier in my career, it was special teams. And now obviously being in the NFL, that's kind of my calling card. That's kind of, the reputation I have around the league is being a good special teams player. But that's how I started off at Wisconsin. But then once I got to play running back, I had to figure out how to stay on the field, because, I got Melvin and Corey, they about to get the bulk of the carry. So I had to figure out, what my role could be to help the team, at the end of the day, to help the team. And pass protection is important. Pass protection is important, especially the way the league is now. Just a lot of throwing of the ball. So being able to pass protect, being able to make sure that quarterback trusts you to keep them clean, that's big for me. And I take pride. And it's fun, It's not a lot of times you get to kind of just go do that, just go head to head with somebody like that. And obviously the ball's not involved. It's just mano a mano, kind of mean guy in the hole and, doing your thing. So it's and Bernie, he can relate to that on an ISO block or something like that, meeting a guy in the hole and just kind of imposing your will. So it's a fun, I take a lot of pride in, but it's also fun. It's a fun part of the game that I enjoy. So I appreciate that. And it's definitely something I take pride in for sure.
Dude, pass protection is by far just the most brutal part of being a running back. If I had, that's what I think. It's applaud you for doing it. I hated doing it. I used to cut dudes. Like Hugs, and then Hugs would get up and be like, yo, you're too big to cut me. And I used to do it all the time, man. I'd run out there and cut. You could cut anyone, and I'd get up and say, Hugs, you are too fast for me, man. If I come to try to lower the shoulder, you'll just juke me one way. I'll be on the ground, look like an idiot. So I aimed for knees, and I was pretty good at it. So Hugs, you mentioned like being in the locker room, game's over, you guys just won. what's a celebration like? Like, what do you guys do afterwards?
Hey man, yeah, you asking the right person, man. So I spent listen, I've spent so much time hurt, right? So I created the vibes for the guys, man. Definitely after, man. So I lived in Equinox. So I threw all the football parties at the spot. Like that's what I did. Like I created a Florida experience at my apartment, and we got we had we had the DJ and all. We called it Club 405, man. The guys already knew it. After this dub, we putting up to Club 405, and we're gonna catch these vibes. So it's crazy. We've been doing a lot of these things that we're doing now. Like you think about like VGC, how everything's going. Like everybody's a part of VGC. We've been catching these vibes. We've been doing things, And after we catch that dub, we're coming to 405 Equinox, and we're gonna have a great time. And it was amazing. Everybody on campus knew, like, this is where we are gonna be at 405. We're gonna catch these vibes. The DJ is gonna be there, and yeah, come for the Florida experience.
The Florida experience. That is crazy.
That's awesome. Do they still have turkey sandwiches and chips and after the game in the locker room? Did that change?
Oh no. Oh yeah, that changed, man. They stepped the game up. They stepped the game up for sure. They started catering after games. So we would have capriati's, and we'd get some good food in there after games for sure. But that's exactly like Hug said. You get your sandwich, hop on your moped, get in the shower, and then it was time to get active, man. We already knew it was really just a matter of time, what time we were all going to pull up. We already knew where we were going for sure. So it was those post game vibes used to be immaculate. Those were good times, bro.
There's nothing better than Madison after you win a game. Madison is the best place when you win a football game.
100%. And then, like you said, then we slide down to Wando's and close that down. So we took care of business after we took care of business for sure.
Well, that makes me proud. Listen, you better be careful, man. I met my wife at Wando's. Wando's has taken care of me my entire life, man. It's unbelievable.
Love that.
Well, I think that's actually a pretty natural place for us to wrap it up here on the podcast today, just talking about bringing the good vibes, whether it's at VGC, whether it's at Club 405, whether it's in Camp Randall Stadium, or even in the region with a missing snake. Guys, we really appreciate everything that you are doing for Vibes. We obviously love the vibe here too. So make sure that you guys are following both the guys on social media. We will be we will link to their handles in the show notes here for the podcast. We obviously, this is part 2. We've got part 3 coming up next with Darius Feaster, Darius Hillary, and Tanner McAvoy. I think is the next trio on our on the podcast. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to that, and doing some really big things here moving forward. So we want to say thank both of you so very much for joining us here on the Believe in Badgers podcast on the Believe Podcast Network, presented by betonline.ag. He's Matt Bernstein. I'm Matt Perkins. We've got Daria Ogunbowale, Hugs Etienne. Thank you guys for joining us. And until next time, on Wisconsin.